So I'm going to show you really quickly what happens if you do use an effect that's not 32-bit compatible and how to work around it. I'm going to turn off all of my glows except the first one, and I'm going to get rid of both the fast blur and the exposure. Then I'll come into the blur and sharpen and add radial fast blur, and you'll notice that's 16-bit compatible only. Double click that to apply it. We get the little warning icon, and if I turn this up and change the zoom from standard to brightest so you can actually see what it's doing, I'll zoom in here. You'll notice that we're not getting that same bright blending happening even though our layer is set to add. If I switch this back to normal, there's not much difference. I'll undo once to get back to the blending mode of add. So this effect messes up our blending. But if I were to add a fill, which is 32-bit compatible, after that effect, then I could change the color to be brighter in 32-bit. And now you see that we have the brightness back again. To make this look a little bit better, I could add a fast blur before the radial fast blur just to soften it a little bit. Maybe turn the amount down. The brightness might even be able to be switched back to standard so it's a little bit less intense. Now we've got these light rays shooting out from behind our sign. Now obviously because we're using a fill effect, it's not preserving the original colors of the sign. Unfortunately, there's not really an easy way around that. But if you combine it with all of the other glows we already have, it doesn't look that bad. Maybe on this version we wouldn't use the angled blurs that the other blurs didn't allow for. Now there are other effects that are 32-bit compatible that could have produced a similar result, like the CC radial blur and the standard radial blur. But I just used this as an example. The important thing to remember is that if you add a 32-bit compatible effect after the incompatible effect, you can bring it back into the correct blending space to match the rest of your artwork. Now that you have a better understanding of how this effect is going to work, you can finish your design if you haven't already. Then go ahead and have some fun making your own custom glows. Post anything you'd like to show off or get feedback on your project page, and then move on to the next video.